Jeremy, you need this one right here, buddy. That'll be.
What's a movies?
Oh my God! Shut the fuck up! God, I hate you.
It's in the Clerks universe. You haven't gotten to it yet.
Okay.
If you're gonna watch more of those movies on your own time, you better have watched the movie this week. By the way,
he didn't. You didn't watch a movie, you fuck.
I forget.
Look, man, this is a segment for the show. This isn't like if I feel like it. We record every week. Oh, just wait. We're recording right now.
I remember on the weekends.
I got some shit to say now.
All right, let me burp. All right, here we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Invite.
Come on!
All right.
Finish this!
All right, here we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Invite to Party podcast. I'm your main man, Jeremy. I'm joined by Bryan, David, and Ray. What's up, guys? How you doing on this fine Saturday morning?
I'm fantastic.
I'm doing fantastic.
What the fuck is so funny?
He stumbled thinking about how he wanted to introduce himself, and then he mispronounced his own name.
God. Look, Jeremy.
Yeah, he's like,
I didn't want to say it's your boy. It's your boy. I said that the last 4 times, all right?
Oh, my God.
The extra pause in there, and then your main man.
That
was beautiful.
Oh, my God.
I need a list of different versions
from
next
from
to
the
me.
top.
Hey, no, you
No,
know
that's it. Well, who are you?
What? Huh?
Wait, that's the intro. Who are you guys?
That's the intro? Oh, I'm Ray.
Yeah.
I'm Bryan. I'm the one with the beard.
This is not going to be a good episode. We're all out of order. Ray went first. That's never happened.
You know what's out of order? The day we're recording.
This whole podcast is out of order. Oh, wait.
That was
I'm
Dave.
That's Dave.
Well, you
All right.
Dave.
Ray, did you want to continue your thought when you were yelling at me?
Okay, so for anyone that's been listening to the show, you know that Dave and I
all
made
three
a
of
list
you.
Movies. Yep. Dave and I have made a list of movies for Jeremy to watch to become more firmly steeped in geek culture. Jeremy has just informed us right before the show, the show that we're trying to put out there for you guys to enjoy with us. He forgot to watch a movie this whole week. Okay, this isn't like purposeful negligence. This
He forgot
is
to do his homework.
He just forgot to do his homework, and we should forgive him. And I don't think that should be the case. I think that he now.
No, we have to think of a punishment.
There has to be something.
No. Now we make him watch a shitty 80s movie.
Oh.
Isn't that what the list is?
You take that
Jeremy,
back right now.
I
You
know
are
what
only
you
a half an
are.
hour drive from Ray and I.
Yeah, you're not that far. I got an electric vehicle. It won't even cost me anything to come and kick your ass. All right? By the way, for anybody with love for 80s movies out there, I need everyone to hashtag I hate Jeremy at this point, okay? So, see, Jeremy, it's going to be over for you. You can't make fun of 80s movies because they were literally the building blocks for which you're enjoying your life right now, okay? I wish I could say that we're not true. 80s, everything, the whole bit.
So we established that you like John Hughes movies.
Yeah, I love John Hughes movies.
We're trying to open your mind for other aspects of 80s movies.
They don't age well.
There's got to be repercussions. This is the second time that you didn't watch something.
Which
so I think at this point we have to.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is an actual segment that we're supposed to have on the show.
That
now we can't have.
Look, okay, I'm busy Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, I'll put it in my calendar to watch what movie do I have to watch.
80s movies aren't like today's movies. They're not 4 hours long. They're like 90 minutes.
I looked up the list, and like at least 3 of them are like 2.5 hours.
That's bullshit. There's like only 2 80s movies that are 2.5 hours long.
Clerks is the shortest, and it was an hour and 40.
I want you to tell me right now which ones are over 2 hours, because that's.
Let me go.
I can guarantee you that's not the case.
Well, Conan.
Please wait while our fact checkers are looking into this.
Yep. Okay, but you already saw that one.
Yeah. Okay, that was a long one.
Well, you know what? That's kind of like a sweeping epic. All right, I'm talking about some of the other ones here.
Goonies. It's like an hour and 54, I think.
Goonies is
That's still not over 2.
That's not over 2. It's an hour 55. You're coming close to 2.
Damn, that was.
And Goonies
you put
anyway.
This
but like I'm saying, we're
watching
talking about 90 minutes to like 120 minutes of your life, and that's it.
What about Ghostbusters or Blues Brothers?
Those are
ask about Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters feels like it's long.
Yeah,
it's not.
Top Gun's got to be long too.
No, I didn't think so. I don't know.
Ghostbusters runtime is an hour and 40. Stop it, okay?
All right, let me put that in the calendar. But also,
you spend more time watching the first 2 episodes of
I'm not gonna.
Okay.
Yeah, but I like watching TV shows. I don't know why. I just like in the last couple of years, I just can't stand watching. The only movies I enjoy watching are like Marvel movies. Well, and DC. I guess if I see it in the theater, it's different. But when I I don't watch movies at home like ever. Yeah, DC movies, the last movie I've watched since like.
You're missing the point of this, though. This is
for
enjoyment. This is work. All right.
Yeah, this is so you can understand how Dave and I talk, honestly, or why we make the jokes that we do. Because almost everything's based out of those 10 films.
I assume it's because you're Gen X, and there's something wrong with you.
No. I'll tell you what. I'm going to tell you a story. My sister is a teacher in New York City. Okay. And she makes it a point. You remember how in elementary school you always had like a week or two where everybody would just kind of sit around and you'd watch like a historical movie or something like that, or whatever else. Like there was always that time of like a week right before the big breaks happened where all the work was done because everything was on point. She makes it a point to introduce these children to at least one 80s movie a year. Okay. And she has shown they love it. And they're like, why don't we get movies like this now? These children, she's teaching them right. So there are grade school children in New York that are more geek than you, Jeremy.
I'm reporting here. I'm reporting here for abuse. All right.
Go ahead. They love it. They love The Last Dragon, which, by the way, isn't on the list because you wouldn't get it. You're too white. So you wouldn't even understand that.
I was actually surprised when it wasn't. I would have bet money on you putting that on his list. And
I'm not going to do it. He's not going to get The Last Dragon. Like, it's martial arts.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not his wheelhouse. I'd rather him get some of the staples where he can feel safe in his little cocoon. You know what I mean?
I've seen a martial arts movie or two.
Yeah.
This fucking camera.
Dude, you can't even handle problems with Chrome. I'm going to give you something urban like Dragon. Okay? So we need a punishment, Dave. Actually, as a matter of fact, I think a neutral party should do it.
Yeah.
I think Bryan should figure out the punishment because he's not involved in this.
What bad movie do I have to watch?
Well,
I could come up with that easy. I already have one in mind. If that's what we want the punishment to be. But
I don't know, because all we're doing is piling on, and then he's just going to say, I don't want to do this segment anymore.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I have to cut this. All right. Yeah, quick. All right. Let's go. What's my punishment? Sorry, I didn't hear. I had to turn my light down. What bad
What do you have to cut?
I mean, not I mean, I'm gonna include this, but like, this is.
I'm actually gonna listen to the show.
I can't not cut anything.
Cut this.
I don't.
Right.
I don't.
We're coming for you.
I don't cut this. I can't because of the video. Then I have to do the video like that, and then that's like twice as much work.
You got anything, Brian?
What is
we can come back to it. We can come back to it at the end.
We can come back. There will be a punishment, by the way. If anybody's listening and we don't come up with a punishment yet, feel free to post it in Discord or tweet us or whatever else.
If you want to check out the punishment, check out the timestamp in the description. You can see me get flagellated, self-flagellation, since we're social distancing and being safe.
No, I got both my shots. I can come over and punch you in the neck.
Oh.
You're gonna fart?
Not flatulation.
Brian's comic relief. Oh, I want that. Your face. That's a new. Add that to the notes. Brian face.
Why?
Okay. You just looked. I just liked it.
It looked good, man. It looked good.
It was the face of somebody who made a proud dad joke. Like,
okay. There we go. All right, Dave. So you got the unthinkable. You managed to acquire for retail price a next gen console.
I did.
You got the Series X.
I want to bask in your glory, sir. I want to bask in your glory.
We all did.
Yeah,
that's something I couldn't do. I thought you said the clouds farted for a second.
The clouds farted, and a ray of sunshine farted down on Walmart.
Now I'm imagining Ray as like an angel, like with a little baby diaper on, just like bringing down a Series X from the clouds.
Cherub Ray.
Yeah, a little cherub Ray.
So, how did you play many? Did you play any games that like you played on the One X before, like the last couple weeks? Like
Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves definitely has a smoother frame rate than the normal Xbox Series X that I was playing it on. A little less noticeable, I think, in Warzone. I don't see as much difference between the two. Same with Cold War. I downloaded and played Enlisted for like an hour or two. It reminds me of like old school Battlefield.
Okay.
Like, there's some vehicles and stuff. They don't seem very useful. It's very limited HUD. Interesting, but not a great game. It definitely needs some work, but it is in pre-release right now, so kind of like Ark. And then when I played them, it just they're not 100% there. But what I played of it was fun enough. I mean, the game plays, and that's all you can really ask for. Other than that, though, I found myself going through like the Microsoft Store and looking for next gen games to play. And nothing really hits me as something that I need to play right now. So really the only reason I got this console for right now is the smoother frame rates on Sea of Thieves.
For games, if you want to check out that are like...
that's
the other thing. Like, it's like it's out of your mind. You're not like worried about like, all right, I'm not going to get like...
Now I just have to worry about PS5, but I'm not going to worry about that until like there's a catalog of exclusives for the PlayStation side. Then I'll think about getting the PlayStation 5 because I want to play Miles Morales and I don't want to play it on my old PlayStation because I have a PS4, but it's the original one from the day that they came out. I pre-ordered it. And
I have the limited edition first gen that came out still as well.
Yeah, and it's seen better days. Like I could definitely tell that it loads up slower even on the same game, stuff like that. It's definitely having some issues. So I don't want to get Miles Morales on that system and then have this half-ass like experience with it. So I'm gonna wait. But really, there's not enough exclusive games out for the PlayStation 5 that makes me want to buy that system yet.
Sure.
I'm waiting for the next gen update for Cyberpunk to try and get back into that because I never beat it because it was lame and crashing all the time. Outriders. I'd like to get to play that. I haven't been able to play it yet though on the new
I think you'll
system.
notice it a lot. They do a great job in that. We're going to talk about that further in the episode. But yeah, the 60 frames per second I think makes a big difference, especially if you have like a faster class. But if you want to see like more of a next gen difference, I think the best games to see that in would be probably Gears of War 5. It's like, especially if you get the Hive Busters update or like the side game or whatever, the DLC, crazy in that the ray tracing and the 4K details at 60 frames is incredible. The medium runs at 30, but the ray tracing and graphics and like the texture details are great in that.
I did download
even if
that.
you
I
don't
haven't
finish
played it yet.
Yeah, it looks great. And then I think
I want to play that, but I can't.
You'll get there.
Well,
your time is coming.
Can I play it on PC?
I'd have to check.
I don't
Game
know
Pass
that. I don't know
PC.
that. Call of Duty, the biggest difference, like they do a great job for the previous gen consoles of getting them the 60 frames per second and the graphical like details, and like I have ray tracing off, like I don't need that stuff in multiplayer, but the 120 hertz obviously is like a benefit. And then what's the last game? Oh yeah, the Outriders, which is what we're going to be reviewing today.
I'm still debating getting Valhalla to try and get back into Assassin's Creed, but I'm not.
That game is also next gen gorgeous. Oh my god, I would just love like roaming the countryside on. Right? I know, but I haven't played it. Like the little updates they had, I haven't been playing that. I'm just waiting for the DLC to come out, but that's been delayed because of the panini.
Did you say?
But yeah, that game's gorgeous. Just while nearing the pandemic, the panacea.
I thought you said panini. And you're making
the Pompadours. But yeah, that game's great. You just wander around on a horse, just like taking beautiful photos. It's great. I actually want to do that again. I want to play that.
If I didn't like the original Assassin's Creed series and I liked Black Flag okay, but the ship combat sucked, how will I like Valhalla?
So I would really suggest starting with Origins because it's on sale constantly, and it's basically the blueprint for Odyssey, the next one, and Valhalla. Because Valhalla is really like
half of the series is what you're saying, right?
Because it starts its own thing again after the end. Did you play what was the last besides Black Flag? What else did you play for just the first one?
Yeah.
First one. Even the second one is like 4 times better. Like the first one was basically a tech demo for like the building scaling technology and all that kind of stuff. And then the second one is where they made like an actual game with the best protagonist in the series. Ezio Auditore de Firenze. He's the best, like the top tier, like historical character.
I don't care about any of that.
He's not answering your question.
Like for me, I don't care about the Greek mythology, and I don't care about Egyptian mythology that much. But Viking mythology, I like the new God of War. So do you think that's a good jumping?
They do a bit of it. I mean, yeah, but I mean it's fine. You won't understand like anything because it's extremely lore heavy, especially Valhalla. And you'll like miss a lot. But as far as like the Greek elements, it does more. I think it does a great job with that. And then like the setting is great. And I really like the take on the Vikings that you see in that series. It's not like the violent. I mean, a little bit violent, but not like the barbarian hordes or whatever. It's like nuanced and cultural. It's changed my perspective on Vikings. I was like, oh wow, it's like a deep society.
Well, I'm just about done with the last season of Vikings from History Channel, and so a combination of wanting to continue that feeling of Vikings, and the other two aren't next gen, right? So kind of pointless to get into those two. If I
think the next gen like speed updates, but I mean if you're gonna jump into any of them and you don't want to spend like 80 hours playing Origins and Odyssey to get to Valhalla, that's minimum. I had 135 hours on Odyssey. I would jump in. Like if you're not like it has a great self-contained story, and like the modern, like the historical part of it, like the part where you're in like the Viking area, it's like its own self-contained story, and it's great. It's actually probably the best story since the arc of Ezio's arc, personally. Origins also has like
the next time it goes on sale, I might think about picking that up. But
that's my weekly filleting of the AC series.
My basic the bottom line for Series X right now is if you can't get it, don't worry about it. You are not missing anything because there's no real content for any of these next gen consoles that you can't play on the previous gen. Once they start to come out with exclusives for the next gen, then I think is the time to really get in.
For Xbox, that's not the first 2 years. They're doing it for both for 2 years.
The bottom line is for second gen console, or not second gen, but next gen consoles, is that if you can't get a hold of it right now, don't be in a hurry. There's nothing that you can't play on the previous gen. Like you said, for the next 2 years, for Xbox at least. PlayStation might be less time, but
I think Demon's Souls is PS5
no
exclusive.
Crazy hurry.
Yeah,
to get it.
I was actually just going to talk about that. PS5 has a few exclusives. I can see why you wouldn't be interested in a lot of the rest of them because they've made a smattering. They took a wide variety of genres and made several PS5 exclusives. Demon's Souls being one of them, but I'm not a Souls person. I'm not moved to buy a PS5 because of anything more than I don't want to rebuy a PS4 when this one dies. You know what I mean? And then get a PS5 right afterwards because I will lose my mind at that point. So I'm just hoping that this kind of holds out. I will say this, though. Sony did some things. They're pushing out PS5 updates on a ton of their games. They just released, with 2 days' notice, all of Final Fantasy 14 for free. Like the MMO, getting a complete upgrade. They announced it Tuesday and it released yesterday. If you log in on the PS5, it will just upscale everything and be the PS5 version. So
full disclosure, Ray works for Sony America. Just take his.
I'm not going to say I wish
because
I really like what I do now. But if they want to start sending this podcast money, I'm all right with that. Thank you, Sony. I'm just saying it was very surprising to me because it was right after you had literally given me so much shit for being a Sony apologist. I'm like, well, how can you not talk about something like this at that point? It's a game I'm currently playing.
I did read their update. They had a cool one where you can put games on a stick, a memory stick or whatever.
They
changed. They have a really cool thing that. They have a super cool thing that Xbox or Microsoft you need to add. It's where you can watch your friends play a game and they can pass you the controller, so you can start playing playing their game.
Yep,
that's sick.
I've done it. Dope. My cousins have passed me over control when they can't get past a certain spot in some games, like younger cousins and whatnot. So yeah, it's happened already. That happens quite a bit. I have a friend that said I can't beat this boss on Street Fighter. And I was like, okay, hand it on over.
That's just like game streaming. So I feel like at some point Microsoft will do something like that because they have xCloud going already and game streaming. So I feel like it's only a matter of time. But
yeah, you might not be aware. There's a share button, like an actual own button on the PS4.
Yeah,
hit it, and it asks you if you want the screenshot or you just want to start recording video. Period. Boom, done right there. There's no muss, no fuss, and then it asks you after you're done where you want to upload it to, or if you want to do it live. It's
okay.
Yep.
We have there's a button like that on the Xbox now. They added it on the Series X controller, but I like it. I take tons of screenshots and videos now all the time. Just oh, that's sick, and then I record it quick just so I can remember.
Yeah, the Sony main thing is about activities within games. So if you want to see what your friends are doing, you just pull up the game that you're currently playing and go down to activity. It's like a Facebook feed of what all your friends are doing in the game. It's very cool. But no, I'm not getting any money from Sony. That is the truth.
Not yet.
But yeah, no, I just want to give equal play because I know that there's a lot of people out there that either have both or only have one or the other. And I don't want them to come on here thinking that we only talk about Xbox. We're talking about the culture and the gaming environment, period. So I have to give equal coverage.
That's fair.
You know.
Speaking of things we've been playing and seeing activities or something on like a Facebook feed. This is not a good segue. We are going to review. We are going to review Outriders right now. All right. I want to start out with. Let's start with the negatives because I feel like there's definitely way less of those than there are positives. Because I really enjoy. Spoiler alert! I really enjoy this game.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm gonna say the biggest negative is for me is network issues. Like connecting to the game. I mean, even day one, you expect that nowadays because everything's always online or whatever. On day one, not great. Could hardly connect. Then even that next week, issues connecting and playing together. If you're not host, is like it's not great. Like if I tried to play Halo, like me and Bryan would play Halo co-op, like just direct connection, perfect. Like it's easy. Like it's like I'm playing on my own console. But when you're playing, like at least when I'm connected to like someone else's game, and I think when
we had
Dave
some
was connected to
issues
me,
in Halo.
well, like the Drought Network, but it wasn't like laggy per se. This, like, I have videos or whatever where like my dude's like jumping around, like there's tons of like rubber banding. It goes up and down. There's like a little like connection indicator on the side where if I'm in combat, it's at least at yellow. And then it goes down the red depending on how many dudes are there. Just like I don't understand like how playing just with Dave and like a direct connection with both have like good high speed internets. It's like I don't understand why there's like a connection there. It should be silky smooth, but yeah, network issues. If they can nail those, like hammer those out. Like, what about you guys?
I want desperately to like the game, but I'm having multiple problems with it. I think that they definitely don't have a balance across the different character types at all.
Oh, which class were you?
Devastator. I think Devastator and Pyromancer are getting crapped on, and the other two are way more powerful.
They buffed Pyro, but they didn't do anything in Devastator in this last update, which is I thought was odd.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that melee build, but we haven't tried that, so we can't speak to that yet. But what else?
Definitely the connectivity thing. I mean, it's inexcusable that they didn't hammer that stuff out after they delayed the game coming out. I'm sick of apologizing and being like, oh, I expect it. I shouldn't have to expect that kind of garbage anymore. I mean, how many times are we going to get burned on these like huge day one patches and broken games like Cyberpunk and Anthem and stuff? Like, it's just it's irritating, and it's when you're paying for a AAA game, I expect AAA performance. You know what I mean? Day one, out of the box. Mm-hmm. And if they're not there yet, don't come out with the game. You know, have realistic timelines that you don't have to have crazy crunches, and that you don't have to keep delaying. You know, and stop letting the corporate side dictate to the dev side when the game's going to be coming out, because that's what's happening now. We have a corporation side of the business that's saying this is your release date because we need to hit the holiday season, or
and
we need to hit during this time when we know nothing else is.
And the devs are like, oh well, we're not gonna be able to finish it by then. They're like, all right, well, fix it in updates, but it's coming out.
Yeah.
That's
interesting. And I think Outriders really suffers from that. This like inventory wipe thing that's been going on, I see all over the subreddit. You know, this is still happening with the disconnects and everything, and then with a complete inventory wipe. And if you get completely inventory wiped, like how do you get equipment back? Like
I do want to say they did patch it on Thursday. They got the inventory wipe fix is patched. They said they're looking at it or like through this weekend. They're going to be watching it to make sure it's good. But so far, so good. And over the next couple weeks, they said on their back end analytics they can figure out. They can go back for players that inventory got wiped and then give you your stuff back. Basically, they can see like where it dropped off and be like, oh, you get this stuff back. And every player
Really?
who's played like
See
at
that?
the first 2 weeks. Yeah. So over the next couple of weeks, they're gonna be rolling that out to the players, and everybody will be getting titanium and a legendary weapon. Titanium's like an upgrade resource.
Oh, it's the best upgrade resource.
You need that to level your weapons up.
Yeah.
For anybody who hasn't played.
But
Ray, what about
like,
you?
Well, one last thing. Like, I'm not playing this as a single player game. You are now like far ahead of me.
No, we're
I
at
don't
the
even
end.
want to play now.
We're both at the end.
Yeah, but
we
you're
both
like
beat it.
You're ahead of me in like gear and
That
levels
takes like 2 seconds.
and
That
world
takes like
tier.
all you gotta do is like world tiers is a grind. That doesn't even matter. Expedition tiers.
Right,
where
but
it's
all
at.
me showing up now is going to do is slow you down. Like,
No,
why?
we'll just do.
Why am I going to
We
play?
just haven't been able to play. You're not gonna slow me down. I can't get past. We'll talk about this later. This is different. There's no one's behind though. There's no being behind.
There's no
in this
behind.
Game,
you thought the same thing in a Remnant, and there's no
Brian.
behind.
Brian's behind because he hasn't even picked the game.
A co-op game is supposed to be played together regardless of what that is. Are you kidding me? You brought me on your expedition and we died because I was like level 8.
Right, and that's how I feel now with Jeremy.
Yeah, except you guys won't die.
Like we get to the end. Well, no, we do. But if we do get through an expedition, and then I look at the scoreboard and I see Jeremy, 8 million damage. My character.
That's my class. I'm Trickster, by the way.
1.2 million damage. Yeah, like I'm not even doing anything.
That's me.
I don't pay attention to anything like that. Some people dish out more damage. You always dished out more damage than I did in Division. Like, it didn't matter. No, you did at one point. Yeah, you even as the tank, I wasn't doing anything. I was healing. That was my sole job there. Yeah. So I don't really see those things like stats like that. I understand if I'm the asshole always dying and I get that because I'm not of the level, but you are max level. So there's no problem.
Yeah. Well,
well,
that's what I'm talking about. Like there's some counterintuitive gameplay where you have to be aggressive in order to heal.
Yeah.
But the more aggressive you are, the more things are dead. Now, when you're playing in a co-op situation, which everybody should be playing together, Jeremy's going around doing 8 times the damage you are. Everything's dying. You don't have any targets to hit to then heal. So, like, it actually hurts you that the other player is so much better than you.
I think that was a mistake with Devastator.
We actually sussed that out. We figured out what the missing thing was with you during our co-op. I heal at will in a large AoE. I'm supposed to just keep you up. All of my stuff is supposed to just throw out extra heals to the entire group because not everybody dishes out the same amount of damage.
I think they made a mistake with the healing mechanic. They shouldn't have had the same one for Devastator and Trickster. I don't know why. It should be like if a person dies near Devastator as the tank class, you should get healed because you're sticking close. I don't think you should be the one having to get the killing blow to get healed.
Aggro shouldn't also just
that's why I went with all leech on all my weapons, so every time I hit,
exactly.
I'm healing.
Exactly. Yeah.
But like that leech can't keep up with these like snipers that are across the board. That
the snipers are an issue. Those are a big issue, I think. That's what everyone is talking about.
Yeah, there was a big news article about the snipers ruining everyone's fun.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It one-shots me.
They're overtuned and they never miss, which is usually
you can roll out of the way when they shoot, and mid-roll they'll shoot you.
Yeah,
and it's you got to get behind the wall, but
there's some tuning that
the rest of the game is telling you not to go to cover.
Yeah,
it's very counterintuitive.
I'm with you that the game needs some tuning. The network issues are.
I mean, like the game's beautiful. I know a lot of work went into it, and I'm not trying to shit on the people that did that work.
Sure.
At all. You know what I mean? I will shit on the corporation that pushed them to release this game before it is time, because it smacks of that, and I don't think it's the devs' fault. And I will never get angry at a developer because I know all they want to do is have a good game. Nobody strives to release a shit game. You know what I mean? With problems on day one and all that. Like these guys are doing and girls are doing like everything that they can to make sure that the game is fun and engaging, and so I know I'm negative about a lot of things on here, but I'm not trying to shit on the people that did the artistic and creative work behind this thing at all.
I get
Because
it.
it is a beautiful looking game. I think once all these problems that we're discussing are fixed, which they would have been if had they had time and development to do that, I think it's going to be an awesome game. It's the game that I wanted Anthem to be, and didn't get out of Anthem.
I missed the day when a game came out and you didn't have to worry about updates for fixes because the game was already polished.
Oh, you mean N64 days?
Yeah,
I would say I feel like as far as releases go, this one because really it's just been the network issues, which it's hard
which is huge in a co-op game.
Yeah, but it's hard. Okay, yeah, the direct connect, but like the connection to a server thing is always gonna. I mean, for the most, even World of Warcraft, they've been doing it for decades. Well, a decade plus, and day one, there's always issues. There's I think it's just the difference going from, all right, you have like 500,000 players playing the demo to day one, everyone's hyped now because it's on Game Pass.
Oh, sure.
Everyone heard about it. And there's like 3 million people.
That's not what they said the issue was. They didn't say it was server overload. That's the issue. There is a coding issue specifically. That was in an article from the devs.
Yeah, I'm saying like they didn't find it until like they had a massive amount of people like playing through it. It didn't pop up or became an issue.
They have companies out there that get paid to stress test those things.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, I know. I don't think. I think this is as far as like they didn't make any changes to like. I mean, they nerfed the trickster a little bit and stuff, but like as far as the actual game goes, like they're not adding in end game content at the last second like Anthem. They're not like trying to create a whole new like the game is finished. Like they haven't done any. They haven't been like,
by and large, all of the major pieces are there. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, so I think as far as like other games go, even compared to like Call of Duty, which is fairly complete packaged, like there's always going to be tuning with multiplayer and stuff. That's a whole different beast. But as far as like a modern game, it's like leagues beyond anything else, I think.
I do have one major gripe that they have excluded. I feel like the self-healing properties that they added to each class is added on. Because it's a co-op game, or it's meant to be a co-op game, and you have archetypes for the Trinity, the DPS, the tank, and the healer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But all of a sudden, everybody can heal themselves. It's not consistent. It's also not reliable. There's nothing to it because you can't sustain yourself that way. Eventually, you get really close to low and a fight ends and you heal all the way back up. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of how it goes. But I think that part was added on. It needs to be fine-tuned. And I also think that the aggro, hate, enmity, whatever you want to call it, in the game, it needs to be added. It looks like it might have been added back in, like it was taken out at some point. Then you could
it's hard to tell who's going for who.
Yeah, you could see that.
Yeah.
There should be. You don't make a tank class unless they can pull things. You get what I'm saying? Like you don't say this guy can grab everybody's attention and all of the and keep them there for your DPS to do stuff, and then take that system out. So they took something out and they added something in. I could be completely wrong because I don't know behind the scenes, but it feels that way, and that's where my problem is. Like either treat it like a traditional game. A traditional like video game RPG where there's the Trinity, the DPS healer tank Trinity, right? Or don't. Like Borderlands didn't. You know what I mean? Everybody was equally badass. You just equipped whatever the hell you wanted. But don't give us these classes.
It feels like they started with that.
Exactly. And it feels
and
like
then they moved away from that.
They took out enmity. Yeah, they took out like direct targeting and taunting. And they added in self-heals because you can just shoot anywhere you want. You know what I mean? Whoever's closest. So what happens is
I think they originally
our tank's got to go in, take the alpha, pull out for the DPS to go in and take some of the hits while the healer's healing the tank, and they got to rotate back in and out. It's too much coordination just to work or gain.
Yeah, it feels like they. It feels like they were like, all right, let's make a cover-based shooter with like maybe some abilities, kind of like Division. But then as they started like developing and iterating, they got a completely different beast. Like cover became less of a necessity, and when they had like the self-healing like dictates you can't use cover because you can't like jump up to an enemy as like a devastator or a trickster and be behind cover and self heal because you got to be up in there doing stuff. And yeah, the threat, like it doesn't, like sometimes the broodmother will be chasing Dave and I'm not even like looking at it. I'll be like running over to like kill an ad, and then the broodmother's like attacking me. I'm like, but she was just like over there like with Dave, like, so the threat doesn't really,
it's not consistent,
feel there.
It's not logical. In Division 2, it was very similar, where it was closest person or whoever shot first, that's where we're shooting. Until somebody else starts doing more damage, and then they turn to that person. Or if you have a shield and you're close by, because if you are, then they lock onto the shield and try to get rid of it. You know what I mean? Like I
think it's also easier in that game to see who is shooting at you. Like in this game, it's kind of hard sometimes.
That was my other thing. That was the other technical issue that I have. Is in the middle of a firefight, there's not enough indication that someone is standing behind you, pointing the gun down into the back of your neck and unloading a clip. All right, there's just none of it. I don't see it. I don't feel it. Like I'll kill everything in front of me, and see no red dots, and I'm still taking damage. And it's a dude 10 feet behind me this whole time, unloading a shotgun into my back. And I'm like, what? I got no indication of that whatsoever in the firefight. Because if you get shot from multiple angles at multiple times, it's just a red ring, not with multiple arrows. I can't tell. There's not enough haptic feedback on that portion of it. It's not programmed into any of the controllers to do that. And I've had other games where I know when I'm getting shot from either side or the front or the back because it vibrates differently. Like they didn't put any of that in there.
Yeah. I feel like there's some sort of vibration. I was thinking about this the other day when I was playing, and there's like something where like it vibrated in my hand. But no, you're right. I feel like I look at the minimap in this game. Like, did Division 2 have a minimap? I can't remember. No. But like I'm like it's like I'm playing. So like you're focused on, like I'm just focused on shooting in that game. In this game, it's kind of like COD, where like I'm like glancing up every like couple like every like 2 or 3 seconds. Be like, all right, where's the dude at? Like, okay, and then I'm like take my eyes off the game.
Yeah, so I had different technical issues than you or Dave did. Like I'm more into the weeds of the gameplay itself. I like the game very much. I like playing with you guys. I don't have the same issues that Dave does with it. I've already switched characters from Pyromancer because I didn't like the healing portion for the Pyromancer. I don't like having to mark something and kill it.
I think that was a mistake as well.
Just to heal myself like 200. I'm like, no, what the hell? Absolutely not. So I went to something else, and I very much enjoy it a whole lot now because I slotted back into my healer slot, and we can do what we do. So that's right.
So as far as things we like, I love the story. I think it's super cheesy.
Really?
It's like it's hilarious. I think like I don't take it too seriously. The writing flip-flops between being like, okay, that was bad, to being like so bad it's good, like super cheesy, to having like some of the side missions and some of the final stuff is like pretty, like I would say surprisingly heavy.
See, the story is what turned me off.
The beginning is definitely super goofy, especially like the first like half an hour where it's like, hey, this is the main guy. Boom, spoiler, his head gets blown off. That guy you just met, 2 seconds later, his head gets blown off. This girl you met, like everyone's dying like any second now, which is Game of Thronesian. But there'll be like some cool lines like, I don't hide behind a basket of stones. When I kill a man, he knows it was me. So cool.
Talk about how much of a fucking sociopath the main character is.
Yeah, it's weird. He like flips between being like, I'm just gonna blow everyone's heads off, to being like having like a really quiet moment with like a side character and being like looking at like a bird, and then it just like flies away or whatever. The writing it feels like a bunch of different people like chipped in on this. Like they had like completely different people doing side stories and weren't concerned at all. And then when they were done,
one guy was like, okay, now I'm going to change this so he shoots that person. Okay, now he shoots like this person in the face and this person in the face.
Especially towards the end, it's like about genocide and like
is the
humans are the monsters, and it's
real
crazy.
Quick, every cutscene happens. One round from a pistol will kill somebody. But then that same person in gameplay can take like if the cutscene matched the game, he would shoot him in the face, and then they'd be like, "Why'd you do that?" And then he'd shoot him in the face again. They'd be like, "Could you stop that?"
Well, maybe if we set
and
the
you have
World
to
Tier
shoot
1.
him in the
Maybe
face
it's on World Tier 1.
100 million times because they're so bullet spongy. Like they'd just be like, "Ow, can I have another?"
The other thing I like
another.
is the aesthetic choices for like the guns, especially legendary guns, super cool looking. I was looking at pictures the other day; they're wild. The ability system's super deep, and a lot of the game is like friendly to. Whereas other games will constantly have like little things you gotta spend currency on. There's a little bit of that, but the currency is so commonplace. Like iron, I have like 150,000 iron. I'm never gonna run out, so I can do whatever. But like it's like, all right, you want to try out like your gun with like an ability that shoots down lightning or it makes dudes explode into like gas clouds or whatever. It's like, go ahead, do that. Like whatever. You want to change your entire skill tree? Free. You want to redo your entire character like in the middle of a campaign? You can do that. I really like how it's friendly towards that. It's not trying to like gatekeep you, as I think we would see in like a live service game. I think that would be in there. I like how it's complete. Like Anthem was like, all right, we have this half game, and now we're gonna start adding in the end game content at the end. This is like, all right, you have this, and we might add stuff to the end. Like they're not like focused on like, all right, now we have to finish the game quick while it's out, like before the players get there. Like they're building the rest of the house before everyone moves in. So I appreciate that. On the other hand, I also do kind of wish it was a live service game because I want to play more. Like I want more of this. So I really am looking forward to seeing their plans coming up for what they do. Either more DLC, maybe new expeditions, adding on world tiers or whatever, new weapons. Like I just want to see what they want to do further because I would really like more Outriders, even if it's goofy and like I don't think I've played a game like this in a while where it's like really fun to play. And like I love the effects and like especially the one ability where like I like temporal blade
different
them.
Games.
It's so fun. Temporal blade, and then you see their skeleton and they explode, or like the time warp bubble where like people are in slow-mo. You see bullets coming in, like just slowing down, like they're shooting in from the outside.
Every
like,
minute of the game you shooting something?
No, I mean there's running like side missions. I did all the side missions. I really liked them, but
Bryan, I'm just gonna let you know here. I think you're wrong.
This game
amazing.
It's like it's bad and good. I don't know, like it's weird. I mean, it's not bad. It's like it's cheesy. It's like an action movie.
I played the demo and like the first like 30-40 minutes of the game, and the story didn't grab me at all.
It's basically a tutorial. It changes.
I really enjoy the fact that you
right
didn't say
there.
20 minutes there.
I'm disappointed, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave, what'd you like?
And then like the gameplay, the what I've played so far was just you're fucking killing things just the whole time. I'm like, is there any other type of gameplay here? Like, I need a little bit of variety.
I mean, there's no puzzles or whatever. I don't
want to be fucking sweaty trying to kill shit the whole entire game.
No, there's like interludes. I mean, and then you can change the world tier. I just like playing it. I like getting sweaty because, and then this is what I read this after the fact, but the developers were kind of like, we kind of wanted to make the fight like a puzzle, I guess. Kind of like Doom Eternal, like the fights are a puzzle. You got to like, if you do like the wrong little bit or you use things incorrectly or the wrong gun or whatever, you can't finish the puzzle because you're getting killed while you're doing it. But this game, it felt like there was like certain, like the challenging aspect, like, all right, you got to take out the snipers and then you got to take out the breachers and you got to roll out. And then like, okay, now I can kill ads that like I was ignoring before, things like that.
What the fuck are
ads? I like that. Like just meat puppets. I don't know, like little guys that are there for you to kill
ads
and take
out. It's additional mobs.
But yeah, like I like that aspect. I like that part of the games, like where
is ads
beating the fight is difficult.
A term specific to this game, or
no? Ads is a term specific to video gaming.
I was gonna say WoW probably or EverQuest, like old.
It MMOs. Started with MMOs and other genres started using the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So.
But that's why I love this game. I think it's. I don't think I've played anything like it. It takes a little bit from everywhere. No, you just
you're primarily a single player gamer, is what it is. From the games that you said that you've liked, you've always mentioned single player games.
I love Sea of Thieves. I'm level 83 in Renown already.
Fucker.
Yeah, that's not a game with like mobs. You don't really get monsters there. They come at pre-prescribed times, I would imagine, from what I've seen. Like you go to an island, there's skeletons there.
Combat in that, unless it's PvE or PvP, isn't really sweaty. I would say
it can get sweaty depending.
Right.
I think it will become sweaty, but that's for a later episode, and that's insider exclusive information. Yeah, Dave, what'd you like about it?
What I like about it, Outriders.
I know you touched on it earlier, but
yeah, I mean, I like the feeling of a loot pinata game. I always have. I like getting to the end of that. You know, oh shit, what? Bryan,
what?
right?
I'm talking to myself.
Oh,
we heard. We were worried about
loot.
Yeah, like
Nothing
so,
fair.
like you get to the end of the exhibition, or what do they call them?
Expedition, yeah.
Expeditions, and
yeah, especially those, yeah.
Yeah, you hit that pod and 100 things come flying out of it. That's very
doesn't it Borderlands out where it's like spewing out stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, if you guys want to play after this, we could do an expedition real quick.
I could play for a little bit, but I have to clean out my car because I'm going to the Stone Cold Steve Austin A&E biography at the drive-in in Exton, PA.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That is.
I'm gonna pick up Greg on the way out there, get him out of the house. He's been picked up for too long.
Greg,
a friend of ours that has been having some issues. He's waiting on a kidney transplant.
Yep.
Yeah. And
he's kind of been stuck at home. He plays video games with me. He plays Final Fantasy with me.
Yeah.
Discord.
So I'm getting him out of the house, taking him out to Exton. Jeremy was supposed to go, but he ditched me.
Anyway, Loot Pinata.
Loot Pinata, yeah.
So yeah, the loot is dope. I agree. And there's way more than Anthem.
Yeah.
Anthem had like 4 legendaries when it dropped, which is...
Yeah, not only that, but like with Anthem, it felt like there was no moment where you were like, "Oh, look at all this stuff." It was just like
that's
one
true.
thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't a generous game at all.
No.
Yeah, it was very stingy. I will say I like the traversal better in Anthem. I mean, the flying around.
It's hard to beat that. That feels like the core experience that they.
Yeah, that was
developed.
the best thing that Anthem brought to the table. Whereas like Outriders has that shitty map and the travel system and the loading time on top of loading time on top of loading time.
It'll be a little bit better now on the Series X at least.
But I think what it gets right definitely is the generosity of the loot. So hopefully they don't nerf that or anything. I would like to see maybe some lower level legendaries drop sooner in the expeditions. I think that's a little bit much to ask. To have to level up to like
7 to even get a chance. Yeah, 0.75% chance.
Yeah, so I would like to see that a little earlier, but it's still fun to the amount of stuff that you get and the customizability of it. Like they're not restricting you to like you can only change this one thing on a gun. You can change either of the mods. You can up the stats on them, then you can level up the whole gun as a whole. And I think that's really smart. I don't think that they'd put in enough time yet. I think they're going to learn this, that they need to make legendaries so strong that they're the go-to if they're going to be the thing that you're chasing after. Because
you can't have the purple algorithm go past what you're right.
Current state it does, so it's better to actually have a decent purple and level it all the way up. It'll be stronger than the legendaries, and there's no like skin system where you can transmogrify like other games. Okay. So like if I really like this skin, but I like this gun better, I could put that skin on that gun. I would love to see something like that, and then maybe like a dye system where you could dye your parts if they don't exactly match to be closer to so you don't look like a walking bag of Skittles.
My character looks goofy and I'm like 40 gear level, and I look like
but these are all like cosmetic things. And in all actuality, I wouldn't care at all if it was a first person shooter. You know,
but you see yourself. That's why I changed to a chick.
Right. Well, I don't care, man or woman. Doesn't matter to me.
Renaissance man.
Yeah, we know that about you, Dave.
Yeah, I don't judge.
Brad, what about you? What you feel strongly about this game? Like,
I feel very strongly about the build system.
That's your thing.
A lot of creativity.
Ray loves builds.
The mod system is the crafting is pretty in depth for a third person shooter. Not gonna lie, it's pretty in depth. This should have been in like Avengers, honestly. Like you should be able to craft what the hell you want there. Like you have Tony Stark. You should be able to do something with your gear, right? So they should have had a crafting system in that game as well. And I'm upset. I'm not upset. I'm happy that I'm getting a crafting system here, but I'm upset that it's not like something, even anything is over there, you know? So both the crafting and the build systems are really good. I think that the creature balancing, while being a little bit off, the creature designs are amazing. I like them. When you get to a boss, you feel like you're at a boss. Whether this dude is a titanium bullet sponge with a lot of powers that are shooting at you, or it's a giant creature and you're avoiding, breath weapons and swinging arms and, cave-ins or lava or whatever. You just feel it. It's very good. I don't mind the story at all.
Dave and I.
Yeah. So
Shaman Warlord. That fight. Fuck that fight.
Shaman Warlord. Is that something to look forward to? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a rough one, but story. You also enjoy it?
Yeah, I gotta say, while I'm not gonna say it didn't grab me right away, I enjoy trying to see which way the writers are going to go. Like Dave said, it seems like an improv class, so I'm going to try to see if he's going to shoot babies in the face, or he's going to let
you never know
or whatever. I have no idea. So it's kind of engaging. I kind of want to know what's going on with the anomaly because I am not at max level like you guys, and I still have to go through the story. Which I just got my first legendary at level. What was it? 16, right? Something like that with you, Jeremy.
Yeah, from the crystalloid.
I'm like level 19 now because the story really does a good job at just giving you all the XP you need to get to max. I'm saving all my side quests so that way we can try it on higher difficulties together and get those rewards and see what's up. But I'm enjoying the game. I am. I'm very much enjoying it. I like it, and this looks like something that I'll be able to come back to as well. Like if I get a new idea for a build, I'm like, all right, I'm going to go out and gather all the shit or see if I have the mods for it or even try another class out when they do a pass on Pyromancer and Devastator. But I'm really enjoying my Technomancer right now. I got a full ice heal build that I'm waiting to use in a group. It worked with Jeremy because he came into my game and he got swarmed by dudes and I was like, he's in red. Hold on a second. I didn't expect to have to heal you. So I wasn't paying attention to your bar. And right away, that AoE was just magic. And he went whoop, right all the way back up. So it was very cool.
I also look forward to coming back to it as they drop in DLC and things like that. I think there's enough in the game now where like, even if we beat all 15 expeditions like together, there's still like another thing where it's like you're trying to beat them on gold, which is like the speed rating. You're trying to beat them all by yourself, which will be extremely challenging because I'm stuck at 7 trying to do it solo. So I'm assuming like if you get better gear in like expedition 14, 15, etc., it'll obviously be easier. But I mean 14, 15, I can't even imagine trying to do that solo. So there's always going to be like a little bit of a carrot. And the cool thing is there's like no FOMO from it because like it's a single player game. So like if I beat it like a year, I get like tier 15 or expedition 15 or whatever. Dope. If I get it tomorrow, dope. But like, yeah. So let's do you prepared to give it a rating out of 10?
I am.
All right.
I'm not.
Let me think.
You want me to go first?
I'm trying to remember what I gave Cyberpunk 8. Yeah, why don't you go first? I'll think about it first.
I'm going to give this a solid 7. Okay, I'm sure as I hit endgame, it might slide up to a 7.5, maybe even 8, due to experience. That's just more a subjective slide. You know, like because I'm going to be playing with you guys, and it's going to be a fun time, so I'll get more enjoyment out of the game. But right now, it's a solid 7. Nothing stellar, but it's definitely not middling. It's above average. So,
Dave, what about you?
6 still.
6.
Yeah.
Ooh, damn.
I'm playing a Devastator.
It's gonna be a tough day. We got if Dave gives a game like an 8 or a 9, that's a good ass game. That's what we're learning here. So Dave is the one to trust. I feel like I'm too much of a fanboy, and I just get super excited about stuff because I want to give this. I'm having a ton of fun with this game. I just like playing it. I'm having a ton of fun. I want to give it an 8. Especially, I feel like also it's super dependent on the classes because I love the combat. I could do it. I don't bang my head on the wall doing this tier 7 expedition, just dying over and over again, and I love it because I just love all right, let me try this thing now when this battle. Let me try, well, what if I kill a sniper first and then go back and kill those guys, or what if I use a time bubble here or whatnot. I just love the combat. It's super super fun. It reminds me of Doom Eternal a lot, like Doom Eternal third person. So I'm loving it. 8. No, wait.
So 6, 7, and 8?
Isn't as good as Cyberpunk is.
Now remember, all of these ratings are subjective, and
they are subjective.
On the reviewer.
I feel like Cyberpunk can go up if the next gen update really, gets division. So, okay, 8. I'm comfortable with 8. It's a lot of fun. I think everyone should play. I think it's a game that everyone should give a shot, especially on Xbox. There's no excuse. If you have Game Pass, download this. It's a AAA game for free, so I feel like Game Pass, download it immediately. Try it out at least.
It's definitely worth the cost.
Probably don't roll Devastator.
Wow, Dave. That
was don't do Devastator. Try out Trickster if you really are combat focused. Technomancer's cool. It's also great for solo play because there's a self-heal mechanic that isn't dependent on killing people. But all right, so that's the scores. 8 from me, 6 from Dave, and 7 from Sir Raymond of Yorkshire. All right, so that's our Outriders Roundtable review. Now we are obviously going to skip and jump right into the penultimate. I dropped it again. Penultimate episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier in our segment. Dave,
a brief interlude in which the boys talk about the latest episode, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Good enough. Perfect. So we're going to talk about the episode 5 of Falcon and Winter Soldier, available on Disney Plus on all platforms. So yeah, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's a great series. Best one so far. One of the best original content that they've put out. Disney Plus. And there's going to be spoilers galore for this episode and all the previous ones. So if you haven't watched any of it, skip to the end. Timestamp will be down there, but yeah, this is gonna be the last little thing, so you're not missing a whole lot if you want to drop out now. Subscribe to YouTube, check out our Instagram. Anyway, that's a subliminal message. All right, so we are going to start talking about episode 5 right now. Whew. A little bit slower.
Yeah, it was a slower episode, but that's okay.
I think it's I don't know if you've watched Breaking Bad, right? It's the second last episode of that, where there's a whole bunch of wild crap happening all season, and then the second last episode, it starts out quick, but then the rest of it slows it down, and then the last episode is just going to be, I'm assuming, just wild, like crazy, almost the entire time, kind of like Breaking Bad was.
Look,
this is the calm before the storm.
I'll tell you the high and the low for me on this episode. The high is seeing Falcon finally pick up the shield, and the montage and stuff that he was throwing the shield, learn how to bounce it.
That was cool.
Yeah, learn how to do the backflip catch.
That was
sick. That was the high of this episode.
Getting goosebumps.
For sure. the low of this episode is no more Baron Zemo because the Dora Milaje took him away. So we have something that's super awesome. Getting to see like Falcon finally, like, you know, even though he was told no self-respecting black guy would ever pick up that shield, he still made the decision that it needs to be done. I think, like, and then seeing that process of him, you know, fixing the boat and fixing his life and taking on that mantle, that was really cool. And then, but it's offset by the fact that, you know, Bucky turned in poor Baron Zemo.
Poor Baron Zemo. Okay.
Was that? Did he surprise him? Like, was Zemo expecting for Bucky
he was
to kill
expecting him to show up. No, I
he was expecting one of them to show up. You know,
but it looked like he was surprised when he pulled the trigger and he didn't get killed.
Yeah,
he was like,
he still thinks he's the Winter Soldier. That was symbolic for Bucky to say, "I'm no longer under anyone's control. This is it."
Yeah.
Also, I like their chemistry. I want to watch these guys more often. And I also like how he has the hots for Falcon's sister. He's like, "What's your name?" And then the Falcon's like walking away, like, God,
don't flirt with my
like
sister.
he's like, "Hey," I like that a lot. Their chemistry's great. I want to see them more.
This episode gave me everything I've been waiting for the last 4 damn episodes. It gave me Falcon and the Winter Soldier finally coming to terms with the fact that they refuse to say they're friends, but realize they're each other's only friend. You know what I mean? It was very much Martin and Riggs there, if you know what I mean, from Lethal Weapon. It was just very... Yep. There was a lot of stuff there. The unsaid man love. That's what it is. You know, the stuff that Dave and I have for each other. So it's the unstated man love. So it had
explicit,
that.
Actually.
We're both scolds for this shit. So.
It had a montage, and you can't go ever wrong with a TV show that has a montage. All right, I'm just saying. The idea that Isaiah Bradley is so jaded by the world, okay, that he can't see the good that having a Captain America would do right now because he hates the world that much. And Falcon having to question
for good reason.
For good reason. Don't get me wrong, but that whole story is an encapsulation of what happened in the Truth comic to him, because that dude's in the comics, Isaiah Bradley.
Oh, I was thought you were gonna say in the real world too.
No. Well,
just the mistreatment of black people prior. Like
there's historical documentation on that kind of experimentation happening to black soldiers, but the whole idea that they covered it on a Disney show, right? Not so much that they covered it in comics, because Captain America's always been political. Let's get something straight. All of Cap's comics, going all the way back, have always been political. The first comic issue that Captain America's in, on the cover, he's punching Hitler a year before America entered World War I. He's always been a political character. Let's get something straight, okay?
Yeah.
So the fact that they're covering something this deep in 6 episodes, right? Giving a clear message of where Sam stands, you know, and coming to the resolution that regardless of the whole world, everybody needs Captain America, one that won't use the shield to like kill someone, which is great. Was really good for me. Like it was a very good story telling device. I very much enjoyed it. So I'm having such a good time with it. I'm even going, and I found out yesterday, Paul Walker, the actor that plays Paul Walker, is Kurt Russell's son. I didn't know that. I had no idea he's the Russell's
son. Yeah.
No, I had Bryan no idea.
It's John Walker, I thought.
Is it John Walker? Yeah,
I'm sorry. John Walker.
John Walker. You're right, John Walker. Yeah. I haven't had my second cup yet. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the actor that plays him is LaCrussell's son. So I was very pleased by the whole thing, and the fact that he could go, like, he's only been in romantic comedies at this point, I think. This guy, but he has gone into a character that makes you hate him 2 minutes of being on screen, which is fantastic. So everything in this episode popped.
Yeah, but you still have to have some level of sympathy for the guy.
I was gonna say, I think I agree.
I mean that scene where they're basically saying like, you're this close to court martial, but we're gonna just throw you out and shit all over you, and he's like, but you made me.
Yep.
Like that's
He did
like
exactly what
it's
everybody told him.
definitely like there's some parallels there with how we treat our veterans in this country.
There is. So there was a lot about veterans, but at the same time, you see the fundamental difference between him and Steve. Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
This guy's the perfect soldier, so he did what he was told.
Oh, yeah.
Steve was a good man, so he did what was right, which was Civil War.
Oh,
You
yeah.
get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's
Oh, yeah.
But like, I just think that like the PTSD, the mental issues that he's facing are very like not only parallel with what goes on in reality, but also like if you think back to the first time we met Falcon, what was he doing?
Mm-hmm.
But helping counsel soldiers that had those issues, right?
Yep, correct.
So it sets them up as like the perfect foil to each other going forward after this.
It does.
Is that he could use something other than punchy to try and get through to Walker. You know what I mean? And fix that situation. And I also really enjoyed the juxtaposition of the uh the talk with Isaiah and and Falcon. And then on the other hand you had Walker talking to his partner's family, and how those points of view are completely skewed by the person who, like, the person involved.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
he did lie and say that the person that he killed was the one that killed his partner when it wasn't. But but those people were all like, thank you for doing what you did, versus like the reaction of the general public, which was like horrified. You know what I mean? And then,
Yeah, I can't tell whether that was to soothe the family or soothe his ego. You know, so it was really well done the way the scene was portrayed to give you that conflict.
And Julia Louis-Dreyfus showing up. What was that?
That was crazy. I was like, what?
So she like the power broker?
No, you don't know who that is?
No, who's that?
Contessa came out in 1967, 66. The Contessa, who she is Madam
Hydra. Did they say that?
Yeah, she gives you her name. Yeah, she says you can call me Contessa, but don't call me that. Yep, she is Hydra.
She drops her name and she's like, well, technically there's a Contessa at the beginning of that, and then.
Oh, well, I didn't pick up on that. I was like, I thought she worked for the power broker. But okay, so what was it? Sharon, was she the one who called in Bartok to give the stuff?
Bartok, yep, that's exactly what happened. I was like, yeah, I knew it. This bitch is bad. So I think she's the power broker.
Wait, who'd she call?
Batroc.
She's the one that released Batroc, the Leaper, from jail.
Yeah. Who's okay. Yeah. Sorry, at the beginning. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
Okay. No. Yeah, and then in the park. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So shows up with the weapons.
Brian, what'd you think?
She set up to I don't know, capture the dude in episode 1. Like she's the one that hired Batroc. So I don't know.
The question I have is, why was Sam bringing the shield to Bradley? And he shows up.
He's trying to like make him.
Is that what I think it is? He's like, no, don't take it out of the bag. Leave it in the bag.
I think he was trying to make him like not so jaded and be like, look, I have this. I'm a black guy with the Captain America shield. Like,
was he? I thought he was going to try and give it to him. I was like, wait, why?
No, I got the impression that he was trying to get approval.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, I know that shit happened to you, kind of thing. What do you think about this? Like, is this something that can work out? And when Isaiah told him, no black dude should be Captain America, that's what really
white
put
man
him down.
shield.
Yeah.
And did you see the scene after the credits?
Yes.
I didn't actually.
Yes, I did. You didn't?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't realize. You can spoil it. I'm not I'll watch it right after this.
Walker's in his garage, which looks very much like the first Iron Man movie, like in the cave where he's pounding away on something, and you realize he's making his own shield using his medals of honor melted in to weld the things together. This dude
I will say that I was wrong. You guys were right. They're not going to kill this Captain America. He's probably going to be field agent or whatnot, U.S. agent or some form of that. He's not going to die.
I don't even think he's going to.
Not going to kill him.
Actually, I don't know if he's making it out, but if he does, he's probably going to be sent to the raft next to Zemo, because the raft is under General Thunderbolt Ross's control.
Yeah,
and that's where the Thunderbolts are coming from.
They specifically said we're bringing him to the raft.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Zemo, right?
Zemo led the first Thunderbolts, and
this is so much lore. I'm just lost.
Okay,
Thunderbolts are
amazing.
The Marvel equivalent of the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I kind of don't want to spoil any of the storylines for you in case they use any of them. I'd rather just let it go at that. Very good, Dave.
Dark Avengers.
Dark Avengers might be coming.
Oh, Dark Avengers.
So the possibilities are endless. So that's cool. Walker, I like how they made him, like, I don't hate him. Like,
no,
he's such a good, like, villain in that, like, it's kind of like Thanos, where you kind of see where they're coming from. Like, it makes sense in his worldview. It makes sense in Walker's worldview. And I especially what Dave was saying.
Walker's not going to call himself a villain.
No, yeah, and Thanos didn't either. But I like where he was like, I'm a product of your training, what you told me to do, etc. Like, he's like a bad guy. He's not. He's complicated, which is great. I love that. He's not like a straight up just like, you're just bad. You're a bad guy. I hate you.
He is. He's a villain, but he's not a bad guy.
Yeah, it's like lawful evil, maybe, like alignment wise. Like, well, not even lawful evil, but he doesn't. He has his own code that he follows. He's not like just trying to, like, a Joker kind of villain where he's like just destruction or whatever.
Well, his evil came from
I like him, and I like, he's a great villain, and I want to see more of him. So I don't want them to kill him anymore. I was like, yeah, they're just gonna kill him off, but I was like, don't kill him. He's awesome. He's dope. Great actor too. He's doing a great job.
Yeah, and could we just talk for a minute about all the idiots out there that can't separate a actor from the character that they're portraying?
Oh yeah, this guy's getting harassed, just like
really?
From Star Wars before that. Like, what is it with Disney fans? Like, do they feel entitled to be able to do this, or is it this geek culture?
Yeah,
I think both, probably.
It's the toxic fandom geek culture that allows these things to happen. Remember when I said, like, I like Zack Snyder cut and stuff. These are all products of what started out as like toxic fandom, and then we bow to it. It's okay in the context of the Snyder cut. You got something positive out of it, or Sonic. It became something that looked more like the character in the
and a very good movie, by the way. So,
but
Sonic.
But if we encourage the behavior that the consumer is entitled to that backlash and getting what they want out of it, what happens when that's weaponized, like it was for Star Wars, or like it was for this poor guy just trying to play this villain? You know what I mean? Like
yeah, I feel like it wasn't directed into a good conduit. It's okay to disagree with writers say and what's on TV. It's not okay to bully or pressure actors or the people that wrote it involved. Like, why would you do that? Why would you feel that's okay? That's like me saying I don't like the way you park and putting a crowbar to your knee in person.
I had no idea that.
And it really is. Yeah.
They know it's fiction, right? Like,
that's
he's not
actually
like a super soldier.
That's the point. People can't separate those two things. They're like, you're not my Captain America. Yeah, he's not.
That's the whole point of it. Like, did they watch the show?
Yeah. I don't know.
You're not my Captain America. Exactly.
So I'm acting well, you're saying, right?
Yeah. So, like, that's what they're saying.
Don't say the dude's a terrible. You're not my Captain America. You're a terrible actor. Is actually
He's
more
a
the phrase.
fantastic. He's a
fantastic actor,
actor
because 2 seconds in, he's not your Captain America, and
Yeah.
you're still intrigued enough to watch him.
And I like the change. You could see it. It's not like he immediately like had one moment where it click and then he's like this guy. Like you could see the change, and every single step of the way, his behavior makes sense and fits within his worldview and like his experience, which is why he's so good.
Which is
he's such a good actor. I like him. I
tells
didn't
me.
even like him at the beginning. I was like, who's this clown? And then now he's fucking dope. I want to go see more stuff with this dude in it.
I
he's killing
remember.
it.
I remember seeing an interview from the lady that plays Cersei Lannister in Game of Thrones.
I was going to say Joffrey too.
Yeah, and she was. She said she was at a convention and she was leaving, and she said there were people. They're like, "Oh, I hate you," and she's like, if they hate me for Cersei, that means I'm doing my job well.
Yeah,
but you see, that's in the context of a convention where you expect that, though.
Yeah,
that is where its home goes. But when you start taking it to like Twitter and filling up this dude's personal Twitter with our fan bullshit, right? Go tweet the actual show, not him.
Yeah,
and there's a world of difference between like, oh, that's the lady who played Cersei. I hate her, or like, hey, you suck. Fuck you. I hope you die, or like threatening, or I know where you live. I'm coming there because I hate you so much, or these are things that actually happened to the actors for Star Wars. Like people didn't like them enough that they were getting death threats. That's ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah.
Anonymity is a double-edged sword.
I'm at best Jar Jar Binks. What's her name?
Suicidal.
Rose Tam, the chick that plays.
They didn't help by cutting her out of
the Boyega. Who the hell's gonna roll up on my boy Boyega? Holy hell!
At least he gives it back too. His Twitter, he's firing back.
I get it, but why does he have to defend himself?
He shouldn't have to.
It's ridiculous.
It is.
Yeah, like that. I don't know. But there's just a lot of
toxic.
A lot of negativity out there in the world. A lot of toxic people.
Once we talked,
I just wanted to touch on that subject real quick, but I think we're about out of time for this episode.
I think so as well. We're coming up in the end, but yeah, so great episode. Really looking forward to the 6th one. I say that every single time. Like, so clearly they're doing something right. If I'm looking forward to the next episode every single week, Disney's doing it big. And after that, it's the it's not Marvel, it's Star Wars, the cartoon,
the Bad Company or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Bad Batch,
and then Loki.
I'll check that out. Bad Batch.
I may.
When's Loki dropping?
A couple months, I think.
June, July, something like that.
Yeah,
that looks cool too. We could talk. I think we talked about it last time. But yeah, look forward to that. But yeah, that's that'll be it for this episode of the Invite to Party A Polka. Yeah, so if you like this, check it out on YouTube. Don't say anything, Dave. Check it out on YouTube.
Maybe.
Sub to it, subscribe, like, ding that bell. I always wanted to say that.
That bell.
Check out the Instagram. We're going to post something once a year. So stay on top of the yearly post because I'll delete it in 24 hours. And there's going to be a special code for our store.
Smash that anchor button.
Yeah, Jeremy's also going to link the Discord server that we have. Skeletor demands your allegiance. Join in on all the different conversations. We actually got quite a bit going on.
Yeah, it's not just about the cast.
Posting up about RPGs now all of a sudden, which I'm very happy about.
RPGs, if you want to hop in.
I just got my first adventure for Bunkers and Badasses delivered to me.
Damn.
Just saying.
Yeah, if you like tabletop gaming, TV shows, music, fitness, fashion, there's like combos going on. We got 3 galleys on a Sea of Thieves server the other day. We hopped on a Discord. We're like, yo, you want to join in? Get on there. Yeah, so join the Discord. It's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun because it makes me feel like I have more friends than I actually do.
Wow, that's
because I only have.
My favorite part of that night was what happens when I do this, and I jumped in the middle of everybody at the Glitterbeard tree and dropped the lit keg.
That was great.
Ran. I just watched everybody scatter.
I heard that. I was too busy hiding in the trees and shooting Bryan with my sniper, and hearing him go, "What was that?" But
Then
yeah,
I have to run over and get him back up.
res him up.
My favorite part was when we were trying to get to 3 galleons, right? And we all go to the Legend hideout, and the John Wayne guy was. I walk into the hideout, and you guys are already there, like hopping up and down in excitement. You know,
And then we see a third person come in, and it's Bryan, and we're like, "What?"
it's like when you see your friends at a convention.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
That was dope.
I was there for that. Oh, unfortunately, I was the fourth idiot who didn't get into it.
So all these things are possible if you join the Discord server. Basically, we're advertising right now.
Yep.
So come on in. Links in the description of almost every episode since its inception.
And Jeremy is going to give everybody free hugs.
Yeah, if you come see me, yeah, I'll do it. Whatever. I'm getting my second
travel
vaccination dose
meals
next week.
and stuff aren't included in that.
Yeah.
But he'll give you the hug for free. So
Yeah.
For an extra $5 donation, he'll even give you a leg over when he hugs you.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fine. I thought you were gonna go somewhere else. I was like, that's more than $5. All right, buddy. Yeah. So that'll be it for this episode of Invite the Party. Thank you for coming to the party. Peace. Ouch.
bye.
I guess I could have plugged my Twitch on the episode.
That's your sign off now?
That's your sign off?
Oh,
No.
okay.
No, my sign off is later, yo.
Deuces.
That's a long episode.
It was a fairly juicy. What's up, guys? I realized I recorded my video without my AirPods actually being charged, so I sounded like an idiot. Anyway, if you like this, like, subscribe, notifications, you can get random videos about, cuts or Disney Plus content the day after it comes out, our opinions and thoughts and all that kind of fun stuff. But if you want to hear like a better quality version of this earlier instead of on Friday, you can hear every Wednesday. There's a podcast episode, and we've been doing it for like half a year. So, I already got that. You already know I got this good. But yeah, so if you like this, check out another video. Like, subscribe, comment. Maybe I'll write a script. Ray will never see this, so I can tease him for telling me to write a script. But yeah, hope to see you guys again soon. Peace.